How's it going, guys? If you're still with me, you are what we call a saint. If you haven't got bored and left already. I went digging around and I found my Butch's Borsheim. There's not a whole lot of it left, but this is what it looks like. It says made in USA, used by the US military to clean aircraft cannon, so it's pretty effective. If you want some, the website here is lymanproducts.com, www.lymanproducts, and they're out of Connecticut, it looks like. But I bought this online and it's very effective. I recommend it. This bottle has lasted me a long time, maybe 5 years, and it'll give you instructions on how to clean your rifles and all that. That's not what we're here for. So here is the last part that we're going to clean in this video. I don't know what the technical name for this whole little apparatus is. It's just the handle of your pistol. And same thing, it's got a whole bunch of crap because I chamber fired twice because I loaded it wrong. And this is a very important part to keep clean, because if you don't keep this clean, the inside parts start rusting, and if they fall apart and break, that's pretty expensive. One of the things that you'll find really useful for cleaning this is a hemostat, because if you're like me, I've got really big hands and I can't reach all these little crevices. So I'll get me a little patch, kind of folded up to where it's got some corners on it. The cool thing about the hemostat is it has these teeth that lock, so you don't have to worry about keeping it together. Just solvent. Pretty generic cleaning. There's a lot of white residue from the oxidation of the gunpowder. Pretty much anything that's dirty you're going to want to clean. It's not very difficult. This is a how-to video probably for people that just have never cleaned a black powder gun before and want some kind of general idea. Like I said, I'll probably do a more advanced one later just to show the inner workings of this gun and how to clean those. One thing I might say is I've been saying the word chamber fire. I don't know if this is a term related to real firearms, but in the reenacting scene, it's whenever you load your pistol and you don't put enough cream of wheat in it so the powder's exposed, and whenever you fire off one cylinder, one or two or more of your other cylinders will go off at the same time. And whenever that happens, it doesn't explode like a normal shot, it just burns down the cylinder. So it shoots out this flame of corrosive, oxidizing garbage. It gets all over your gun. And I try to wipe it off immediately, but it's not fun to clean. One time I let my friend load my pistol. I pulled the trigger once. All 6 cylinders went off at the same time. I was not happy because not only do I have to clean all that now, but I didn't have any more shots to use in the battle. So after you've got it and it looks pretty clean, you don't want to see any kind of residue get in all the little crevices that you can. If you're doing just a general cleaning out in the field, this will work just fine. So now that you've got the 3 major components of your pistol cleaned, you're going to oil them. If you don't oil them, they'll get sticky, they'll corrode, they'll rust. This protects them from the air, keeps them from oxidizing so fast. This is Hops number 9 lubricant. Said if you're not doing a very detailed cleaning, you don't have to use a whole lot of this. Drop a little bit down in the mechanism. See if you can see this. This is pretty good for those guys who haven't cleaned the pistol before. Inside you can see that kind of little silver shiny piece. That's a mechanism to turn the cylinder, and it seeps down into all the inner workings. So put a few drops down there, and it's going to kind of protect the inside of your gun from rust. You'll see the mechanical parts. You can put it down behind the hammer. Another thing you're going to want to do is after you've cleaned all your nipples, if they're soaking in hydrogen peroxide, just kind of get you a little patch and clean all the rust off of them. You want the threads to be decently, shiny. They don't have to be perfect. Just get most of the bad crap off of them. And with this oil, it's pretty thick. It works well. Put one little drop on the top, and it's going to run down on the side around all the threads. Then, once it's covered the threads completely, drop it back in your cylinder. Get your ever reliable nipple wrench. And whenever you put it in, whenever you screw the nipple back in after cleaning it, it should be super easy, almost no effort at all. Whenever you get it to the bottom, give it kind of a little bit of torque. You don't want to do it too tight or it's going to start cross threading it. And once again, I'm not going to do it with all six. You can see that one there. I just did it there. Get your, where did my handle go? Oh, there it is. Handle your gun. Drop the cylinder on it. Sometimes, if you don't want to do the excessive wear and tear, if you drop it on, pull it to half cock, it'll drop down on its own, just because that's the mechanism of the gun. Take the barrel. It's the slot right below the actual barrel, goes onto that pin that holds your cylinder in. And lastly, your wedge. One thing I do that some people don't is the way I line it up. On this side, there's a screw, and I take, you can see that little up sticking piece of the wedge. I push it down with the screw and tuck it in so it's facing up. This isn't how they usually come, but it makes them a lot easier to take it apart. Especially if it's clean, you can get it apart in practically no time if you've got 3 hands. That's a pretty basic cleaning, and this is going to get you through most of the year. If you reenact many weekends in a row, this will get you through it. You don't have to clean it in detail a lot, unless of course you start noticing that your hammer is difficult to pull back, or your half cock sticks. Mine sticks anyways because the revolver's out of timing. But after you clean this, you should be able to almost spin it like this, and it should flip at least once or twice around. That's how you know you've done a good job of cleaning it. The brass, some people like to shine it. I do mine every once in a while. Right now it's kind of yellow, but you can use ordinary brass polish, silver polish, brasso, generic. You can do it. Steel wool does really good. WD-40 is a good thing to oil your gun with because WD-40 actually means water displacement 40, so it'll keep it from rusting. And it looks like that's it. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do my detailed cleaning. If somebody out there actually cares whether or not I do it, you can always hit me in the comments or send me a message, whatever you want. If you have any other questions on some black powder firearms, or if you want to get into the reenacting scene and you live reasonably close to Texas, you can always let me know. I go pretty much everywhere there is to go in Texas, and that if for some reason you actually watch all 3 of these videos, thank you very much. I hope you learned something, and if there's anything that you want to know that I didn't cover, let me know and I'll do my best to get back to you.